Hi, I'm Sharyn Mancini and welcome to my channel. I am a licensed realtor in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and I also buy houses. So I have a company, Sharyn Buys Houses, and I do very unusual, out of the box things for sellers, and I sort of build a prescription for each seller that comes to me. I ask them about their wealth situation, the condition of the house, their tax situation, and I customize a solution for them. Now, I found Andy Craig at a Christmas party a couple years ago.
I was a Christmas present?
You were a Christmas present. He was a Christmas present. And I love what you do because it's so unusual and so different. So I'm an out-of-the-box girl, all right? I love to do things that are unusual and that are sort of unexpected, that are a great solution for sellers and home buyers.
Yes.
So I would love it if you could tell us a little bit more. So you have two programs. And each one of them is an outstanding resource for people in this current marketplace. So
absolutely,
tell us about
100%.
your two.
Yeah, those two programs within our Cash to Keys platform, and Sharyn loves to use the word transformation, right? So our real estate industry is going through massive transformation right now. I mean, how long have you been an agent? Again, I can't remember.
I was first licensed in 97.
1997, so a long time she's been an agent. I've been in the mortgage business over 20 years, and Sharyn's correct that we are in a transformation right now in our business. I mean, on the lending side of things, the mortgage business really hasn't changed for about the past 50 or 60 years, right? You go in, you get pre-qualified, here's a 15-year, here's a 30-year, maybe a term in between, and there really wasn't a lot of creative financing, so to speak, to help people in a time like this. And we thought about that hard at Andy Mac, and 2 years ago, we created our Cash to Keys platform, which removes your contingency within your offer. So if you want to touch on what contingency is, right?
Yeah,
so it's a bad word, right?
It is. It has been a bad word just because in the marketplace right now, the way that it is, sellers do not want to entertain an offer where the buyer has a house that they need to sell. There are too many steps in the process. It's too many hoops to jump through, and they really just want the cleanest offer possible. So when you're making an offer, you want to remove any contingencies as much as possible, and that's what your program
Cash
is
to
about.
Keys platform does, absolutely. So when we talk to folks today and they have a home that they bought maybe 2014 or 15 or 16 or whatever it was, and even folks that bought a home sometimes in 2020 or 2021, they're sitting on massive amounts of equity today, and they need to transact. And a lot of these folks are first-time home sellers, right? At one point, they were a first-time home buyer. You held their hand, you helped them buy a property. Mom, dad, aunt, uncle, everybody came to the home inspection, right? They were a first-time home buyer. They were nervous. And now as a first-time home seller, they need that same guidance. You know, it's a market that's kind of upside down, as you described, where they have the equity, they have a family need, they want to go buy a new house, they just don't know what to do. They need that hand holding today, which is what you bring to them as an all-encompassing agent like you described. So our Cash to Keys platform allows them to use our cash to go make non-contingent offers in the marketplace.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
Little stat, 38% of offers that are accepted today are cash offers. 90% of cash offers that are made are accepted. It's a staggering number.
It is, and it's really necessary to be competitive in this marketplace. You really need to be a cash buyer.
Especially as inventory, you know, is where it is today.
Yeah, inventory, and not to mention what's going to be happening further in the year as rates continue to decline. It's really going to cause a frenzy again. So being that cash buyer is more important than ever before. You're
right with that forecast with interest rates. I mean, you know, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the federal entities that forecast these things are saying interest rates could be below 6% again by the end of the year. So we've already come down 1% off of our highs in October of 2023. We hit about 8.25% nationally. It was a big number. And even in the face of that, prices continue to rise, right? Demand is at an all-time high. In the face of that, prices were going up every single month, month over month. You know, for every 1% that interest rates fall, property appreciates about 11%.
That's crazy.
So just imagine looking at a house in October, it was $400,000, and now you're looking today, that same property could be $440,000. Albeit with a lower interest rate. You know, I think there's a window here for folks to be able to transact, get the property that you want, cash in on the equity that you have, get a decent interest rate, but you could always refi that rate as well.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
As those interest rates come down.
So helpful for consumers right now.
Absolutely.
Whether you're buying, you're selling, these programs that you offer are just really, I love how creative they are and how many people they can help. Like, we really need to get this word out there.
Sure. So I'll give you a little bit of the process.
Okay.
So Sharyn, you contact one of your past clients, or you engage with somebody new in the community, and they say, hey, I have a need. I need to buy a new house, but I need some guidance. Can you help me out with that? You would talk with them, refer them over to us here at Andy Mac, and we're going to take them through a normal mortgage underwriting process. Because in the end, they still need a mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
We're going to take them through that to understand credit, income, and assets. We're going to review all that with them. We're going to give them suggestions on how to improve their profile so they can get the best terms as well. So it's not just put in your information, we spilled out a pre-approval, and that's it. Good luck trying to find a home, right?
Yeah.
It's more of a consultative approach, just like you do.
Wonderful.
So we'll understand what that profile looks like, know what their buying power is, and simultaneously, you're going to help us develop a value for the property they need to sell. Once we know what the value is of that property they have to sell, we're going to subtract out a mortgage if they have one, real estate commission, transfer tax, all the things that come along with selling a home. And then we're going to understand what their net proceed number is going to look like.
Right.
Once we know what those net proceeds are, we're going to act as if that home is already sold and that money's in their bank account.
That's wonderful. That is so helpful. And it's funny because so in my buying houses business, so I make multiple different offers to homeowners. Okay. So I'll make a cash offer. I'll make at least one seller finance offer. Sometimes I'll make multiple terms offers depending on their tax situation. They could have a tax benefit if they sell on seller finance. But that can't work for everybody. All right. A lot of times people have an underlying mortgage and they need to get the cash out of that house.
Yes.
If they are just, say it's a second home and they're retiring to Florida, or they're moving in with another person, or they've decided just to rent, my offer a lot of times makes a lot of sense. But for people that are moving from one house to another, they need to get that handled, and they can't accept my offer because they need the equity out. They can come to you and you have this program for them that can add to everything that I do. Like, my goal is to really have sellers net the highest dollar amount. And so I make these offers to them, but on the back end, when they need to buy another house, whether it's here in New Jersey or out of state, you're the guy to go to.
We're unlocking the market for these folks today to the tune of over 700 families that we helped in the past 27 months.
That's
since
amazing.
we launched the program. So
that
700 families have used our cash to make cash offers in the marketplace and be able to win. That was our theme in 23, was let's help you win.
Yes.
It's the same in 24.
Yeah.
We think 24 is going to be a great year, but it's going to be difficult to navigate at sometimes. But we have the tools, the knowledge, the know-how, and the partnerships to be able to help you do that.
Okay, great, great. So if you have time, one other topic that I have is I wanted to ask you about, so a lot of times I come across people that have, if somebody's calling someone called Sharyn Buys Houses, they have a real estate problem, all right? They know that I do all kinds of different things in the marketplace, but they're not just calling a realtor just to test out the market. They have an interest in selling, but sometimes their house isn't really what it needs to be to get it sold on the open market. All right. And so if I make a cash offer to them and my plans are to rehab the house, alternatively, what could we do, like in the mortgage space, where we could help these people? Like we had talked about like FHA 203K and like, what do you offer that we could market this house to a retail buyer? If 100%. It's not rehab staged, smells good, looks fantastic, pictures are amazing, it's just HGTV. So if it's not HGTV, what can we do? Like, how can we help these people?
Well, if you can dream it, we can help them build it. Right. So that we can make it that HGTV house that they want. That's actually what we call our 203K renovation financing. It's the HGTV loan, is what we say.
Perfect.
It's funny, we're thinking on the same wavelength there.
Yeah.
And our renovation financing platform, I mean, I started using that back in 2013 and 14 at a very high level. That's when you saw a lot of foreclosures on the marketplace still and things like that. And these properties were dilapidated and folks wanted to buy them, but they were a wreck. And we couldn't get financing on them, traditional financing. So we said, that's okay. You can go find the the dilapidated property in the neighborhood you want to be in, or whatever the reason why you want to live there is. And we can give that.
Well, no houses on the market.
That's right. And
that could be a reason that people want to live there.
True.
House in a great neighborhood needs some bit of work, or even if they just want a new kitchen. Like it can just be like not that the house is falling down, just that it needs a little bit of work. It doesn't need a whole rehab.
That's right. And we've done budgets, so a renovation budget, and what that means is that we're going to take a look at the property that you're going to make an offer on with your agent. We're going to understand, you're going to decide what the baseline number is that you want to pay for that property. Okay? So if it's listed at $200,000, but fixed up, that property is worth $300,000 in the marketplace, you're going to make an offer to the seller and decide what that baseline offer is going to be, and ultimately that gets accepted. Then you tie a renovation budget to that sale price. When you add those two together, an appraiser is going to tell us this is the after improved value on the property, and that's what we lend on, so you can finance all of those repairs.
Perfect. So that opens up even more inventory.
100%. 100%.
So there are literally thousands of houses on the market in our marketplace. Okay.
Yeah.
There are thousands of houses just sitting there, and a lot of times it's because they don't give buyers the warm and fuzzy when they walk in. But if you work with me, working together, we will. I'm very imaginative. I've created lots of different programs for homeowners and home buyers, and I can help you to walk through this house and imagine what it could be. I do it all day long. That's what I do. I look at houses and I figure out what they can be with their highest and best uses. So working together, I think we can be a great team to help people to imagine what they can do when it looks like there's nothing on the market.
And Sharyn, with some of these renovation financings, we've done as little as a $5,000 renovation budget, just because we needed to get it up to speed. Because the rest of the house was fine, but there was something there from a lending perspective we had to rectify. Or the largest budget I ever did was a $400,000 renovation. Wow! But they added a second story to the property, right? So they loved the rancher in that neighborhood, but they had their family was too big. So they said, can we put a second story on the property? And we did. We added another bedroom. We added a master suite. We added another garage. We fixed a pool. So many different things that you can do with renovation financing.
You know, as you're saying that, I have somebody that just came to mind that really needs a house, and they've been looking for like a year and a half, and I just ran into them at an open house the other day. And because I have all of this stuff, they're like, you're the one. I want to work with you because I have all of this off-market, on-market, different solutions, all kinds of things. I think this can be a great program for them. So I think I'll talk to them about it this afternoon.
That'd be awesome.
And introduce them to you.
That'd be awesome. We'd like to share as much knowledge as we can with folks.
Great. I love it. All right. So that was great. Thank you so much for all of this input that you put in. I'm so excited to be working on these different programs that can help all the people that listen to our channels. And so what's next? So if you are in need of buying or selling real estate, reach out to us. Our contact information is below in the description, and we can't wait to work with you. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much,
Thanks for having me on. It was great talking with you.
It was fantastic. Yes.
And I'll tell you, we get so many people that do raise their hand that right now might not be the time for them, but we let them know what their buying power could look like in the marketplace today. So they can plan, they can budget, they can put an idea or a path forward that helps them 12 months or 6 months from now, whatever that time frame is. Again, we want to be a resource for you and your clients.
And it does help me too, because a lot of times I go off market for property. So even if there isn't anything currently on the market right now, once they talk to you and we get a picture of what they can do, then I'll go off market and I'll talk to my real estate investor groups. I'll talk to the sellers that I'm already working with that haven't raised their hand to say yes yet. And I'll even go into the neighborhoods and find a house in there. I just did it in Mullica Hill. So
man, you put your work boots on. I know that.
I do for sure. So thank you so much for speaking with me today. If you need any help in real estate, give us a call. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.